guys, and we are live for another fun episode of Boomer High. We'll just finish off our little intro music. Actually, Marion.
Yes.
Can we do virtual dance?
We're jamming, yes.
I kind of like this. This is a bit of a cool tune. We'll just keep this going for 30 seconds while I get up. That's actually kind of cool. Yeah.
It is. We could just stay listening to this all day.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's not what everybody wants. Okay. Well, anyway, nice little intro music. Hey, everybody. Patrick Batty here and Marion Herbertson for another fun, action-packed edition of Boomer High. How are you doing, Marion?
I'm very well, thank you, Patrick. Actually starting to feel more like my old self again, which is excellent, you know. So yeah, I'm raring to go.
Good.
Loving being back on this call again. So
yeah.
That's nice.
Well, good to have you back. And we took a week break last week, and even though I'm in Canada, I decided, you know, grab every holiday you can. So I kind of celebrated Thanksgiving as well.
Why not? Why not?
Well, you know, our Thanksgiving in Canada is in October, so we stock up on pumpkin pie and turkey back then. But you know what? We didn't do it this time, but we did have a fun weekend and took it easy and things like that. So welcome everybody. Welcome to Boomer High. Patrick Batty here in Cambridge, Ontario, and Marion Herbertson in the South Coast
of England. Yes.
Right. What's the name of the town you're in, Marion?
I'm actually in a little town which is called Godsport, so Godsport.
Okay.
But to be politically correct, they dropped the D. Would you believe it? So now we're called. Yeah.
Oh, God and something. Well, hey, I'm actually from a town originally it was called Berlin, Ontario. And in World War I, because it was a German settlement, although my heritage is English, but Berlin in World War I renamed itself Kitchener, Ontario, because all the goods that were made in Berlin weren't selling anymore.
Of course, yes.
So the good burgers of Berlin decided to change the name so they could sell things. So that's a very early version of being politically correct.
Yes, exactly.
So, hey, anyway, well, look at guys. For those of you that are new here, we generally have kind of a nice audience. We try to keep an eye on it in the Facebook chat. I'm not too good at that. I can't multitask very well, but I do try to keep an eye on things. We also have Sue White with us generally, really keeping a bit more of an active eye on the chat. I shouldn't say Facebook chat. I mean the chat under the video. And what do? We talk about every week. We are marketers. We're online marketers, internet marketers, and both Marion and myself are pretty successful internet marketers. I don't know how long you've been doing it, Marion. I've been about 2.5 years now. How about you?
Right. I actually started out, Patrick, initially about 6 years ago. That was the first time I actually came online. And this is the story I always tell, that, you know, why it sticks in my head, is that I'm now 56 years old, and it was on my 50th birthday that my little granddaughter said to me, "Gosh, Grandma, you're half a century old now."
Oh,
exactly, charming girl. You know how little ones are, they're so blunt kind of thing. But that was what made me think as to, right, I'm 50 years old, where am I in my career? Where am I in my income? Where am I in my pension plans? You know, all of that kind of thing. And that's I was already looking at people making money online. And that's what made me decide, hang on, if I want to have the kind of life that I want to have, this is my only option. You know? Absolutely. So that's when I came online, made all the mistakes possible. And my success has only been in the last about 1.5 years. Because that's where I found where we are now.
Yeah.
And that's when, you know, my success started. Before that, I was all over the place.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and you know what? We've already established, and we'll talk about that more tonight, that being all over the place, frankly, is a recipe for other people to make money from you.
Yeah.
What we want to do is teach people themselves to make money, and being all over the place is not the way to do it.
Definitely not.
And you will talk to virtually every successful internet marketer, and they'll have gone through it.
Yes.
And you will also talk to everybody who has still not done it, and they will have gone from one thing to another thing to another thing and never made progress. So really, you don't have to be a genius in this business, as you know I try to prove every day, but you need to be consistent and stick to it long enough for it to work. You know, that's really what it is. And you know, we'll talk about some specific things tonight about the topics we're going to talk about tonight. But again, I wanted to welcome everybody. Some of you may be very experienced. Some of you may be successful. Some of you may not know what we're doing, and we'll explain that a little bit more. And some of you may just be looking for some marketing tips that we're going to give tonight. So, and we'll also, Marion and I both make most of our money through a particular business that we'll share with you tonight as well, near the end of the session, because it's something that if you want to join us, you'll be able to, and things like that as well. So first of all, what were we going to talk about tonight? What we thought we would talk about is the way to kind of expand your business by narrowing your focus.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? It sounds a little weird, doesn't it? It sounds almost counterintuitive. But what we're talking about is a couple things. Again, narrowing your focus. In other words, going down one particular path, and try some things along that path, and then amplify the ones that work. But secondly, actually even focus your marketing to a narrower segment than trying to market to the world.
Yeah.
Right? Marketing to the world is almost like marketing to nobody when you think about it. It's as much as it's so tempting to say, I'm just going to sell my stuff to the world. If the world likes it, they'll buy it, right? But what will happen is you don't really resonate with any particular person. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit more tonight. Now, we don't have, sometimes we have presentation material, and we don't have that tonight. It's just going to be a general discussion. But, and I'll share some of my stuff, and then it's probably the easiest way we do this is I'll share it, and then I'll turn it over to Marion, and I'll shut up. So I'll get things kicked off, though. Effectively, I'm a baby boomer. I'm 60 years old. I make money on the internet. Now, as much as even that is counterintuitive, maybe to some people, it's working great. I do very, very well. I'm very happy with what I'm doing. You're always trying to do a little bit better. I'm also trying to do it without giving my entire life away to it. I don't want to be working 24 hours a day trying to do it. I like to do what I can in a couple hours a day, and I don't mind doing that. And frankly, when I focus my time on it, it seems to be doing well. So what I'm talking about narrowing your focus, though, is kind of figure out who you think the market is that's going to resonate with you. Because people, as much as maybe you're marketing, I don't know if you have a personal business that you're selling, or if you have personal products that you're selling, or if you're in a network marketing organization or affiliate, or if you're an affiliate marketer selling a variety of products. We are affiliate marketers for an organization, and when people join, they can buy products from that organization, and they can then become affiliates themselves. And that's how this works, and that's what we do. But people tend to buy and stay with, first of all, people. They're not just buying an opportunity. You can go buy an opportunity from, in our case, there's probably 30,000 members in the lead opportunity that we have. Well, so if you're trying to sell exactly the same thing as 30,000 other people, well, you've got about a 1 out of 30,000 chance of really being successful. On the other hand, if you personalize it a little bit more, and I didn't say that, that's not exactly what I meant, but if you personalize it a bit more, kind of like we do with Boomer High, as an example, by offering some value, offering some tips, offering some training, as well as offering an opportunity, you're going to resonate more with, as much as it's not as many people. I joked with Marion before. I said, I don't have a lot of, I'm giving an example, 18-year-old girls in my downline. My downline traditionally has been, 40 to 60-year-old people. Now, I've recently, all of a sudden, there's been a lot more younger people. But I said I generally didn't have a lot of 18-year-old girls. I'm on camera. I do a lot of videos. And I joked, I said, as much as I think I'm sexy, it appears the 18-year-old girls out there don't think I'm sexy. And they don't particularly resonate with me, right? So I'm okay with that. I know that. I'm not trying to attract them to this business, right? But what I am interested in is, well, look, I've seen the demographic that generally joins with me, and that had traditionally been mainly men, for one reason or another, mainly men, but it was also men that were in their mid-30s up to 60, 70 years old. Okay. Now, recently that seems to have changed, and I honestly don't know. Well, I do kind of have an idea why that is, but I'll explain it. But what I'm suggesting is narrow your focus to what you think the most, even if you're brand new. Even if you are new and you don't know. In other words, you don't know who's going to join you because nobody's joined you yet. Okay? Fair enough. We understand that. But narrow your focus to who you expect, or maybe who you want to attract. Okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be your age. It doesn't have to, because Marion's going to offer some good advice on this coming up. But who do you want to attract? I said, I had a guy, Marion and I are coaches today, and I had a particular guy say, I have some friends, and do you think I should lend them some money to join my business? And I said, well, do you want to attract people that have to borrow money to join your business? As much as you're a nice guy, why don't you, you might want to help your friends out, fair enough. But leading with people that are broke is probably not the most intelligent way to start your business, right? Marion, you talk about attracting, what did you call it? Oop, I don't have your audio.
Right, sorry, Patrick.
It's okay.
I was going to say, it is all about attraction marketing, right? In my case, just one moment, Patrick, I'm just going to mute this out.
Well, I kind of caught you a bit by surprise there. I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. Do forgive me, everyone. Today that the computer's behaving, my throat is packed in.
Oh, goodness. Well, I'll tell you what, you just relax for a minute. I'll keep going there.
Okay. I'll come back.
So what I was saying with this particular individual was who you want to attract. If the very first thing you want to do is be lending money to somebody to join your business, that's not the greatest marketplace to start with. On the other hand, you're a nice guy. Feel free to do it, but let's focus on something higher. Marion was talking. She talks to mature professionals. Okay, people. I won't name what the age is of mature, but maybe it's the 40-plus crowd that have maybe left their job or are currently working a job and want to build something else, but they're professional in nature. They've accomplished something. They've done something. They've achieved something, and they want to start doing more for themselves as a possibility. And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, Marion, but that's what I think of as mature professionals, right? In my case, I didn't really zone in on a complete demographic like that. I was looking at people in my age range. I was looking at people primarily in North America because it meant it was a lot easier for me to communicate with them on a regular basis. It was easier for them to join me on Hangouts and things like that on a regular basis and things like that. Now, a demographic can be anything you want, but if it could be an income level, it could be an occupation, it could be a location, it could be an age. figure out what that demographic, not only what you want, but also think about what they want. Think about what they want. What are they searching for that you and your business can help them with? And that's kind of almost the most important thing.
Yes.
Right? Think about what you can then offer them. Okay? And it could be an offer in the form of a product. It could be an offer in the form of something they would opt into to, get on your email list, and then subsequently you'll give them a video and things like that, and then follow up by emails. It could be, again, something that they would want that would help them be successful in the business that you're trying to attract them to as well. And I'll give you some of my own examples. My own example is I wrote an ebook about list building. Well, if you're an internet marketer, you know that building an email list is important, because it means that there's so many people in the world that are bopping over millions of websites every day. If they see your website today, unless there's something really, really, really good about it, they won't ever see it again. Other than, thankful for people to come for our Hangouts every week, right? But they might not see it again because everybody's busy, everybody's scattering all over the place. If they opt into your email list, though, you get multiple opportunities, unlimited opportunities to keep communicating, right? So there's the value of the list. So what do I want to do? Well, I first of all wrote a book about it, but secondly, I give list building tips. Okay? I give list building tips to people because I know that people that will go into this business will want to build a list. Secondly, if they like the tips, they might buy my book. Thirdly, if they are internet marketers and all that, they might like my business, right? The main business that we promote and that we make our incomes from. So the key thing is, what are they looking for? It could be, as an example, with list building, they could say maybe they would like some opt-in pages. Opt-in pages being the things they sign in with. So if I wanted to, I could create some opt-in pages and say, hey, sign up for my list. I'm going to give you 6 opt-in pages. Now I don't do that particular, but it's an idea of something that somebody could do. It could be as simple as a review of various tools that people would use to build a list. Get the 6 greatest, list building tools. My review of the 6 greatest list building tools, sent to your inbox right now. Save years of learning by, capturing my best tips that I can teach you right now as an example. And if they like that, then finally maybe they like that, maybe they like my book, maybe they like my business. So it's, what do people want that you think your market would want to be attracted to you? Now again, you could be in any market. We know you're not all internet marketers or part of our business. Okay, maybe many of you are, but some of you aren't. But say, look, if you had one of the classic internet marketing examples is dog training. So let's say you had a series of dog training videos. Well, then that you sold. Well, then how about a giveaway of let me show you how to video to show your dog how to do this particular trick. Now our dog is Lucy is our dog. She's 1 year old. Lucy, for some reason, learned a trick day one. Okay, but the trick is that she doesn't listen to a thing that I say. She just ignores me. But for some reason, all of a sudden, if I say, go get your leash,
oh yes,
she goes and gets her leash. It's amazing.
It's called selective deafness, Patrick.
Well, and
intelligent dogs have that. Yes.
I've used that myself. So anyway, if I knew how she learned that, I could teach that. I have no idea how she learned that. Dog training is not my thing. But again, if you say have a product that has 20 dog training videos that you sell for $89, why not give a dog training an entry-level video away to get people on the list so they get to see you, know you, trust that you know what you're talking about, and things like that. Okay? I've done another one that is 6 secrets of internet marketing. And again, I've been internet marketing for 3 years. I've learned a lot of things. I was brutal at it for 1 year, or for 6 months. And I told the audience before, I made $38 in my first 6 months in the industry. 6 months to earn $38. Well, wouldn't you like to know how not to do that? See how I learned a grand total of $38 in 6 months, and how you don't have to do that now. That could be an offer. I mean, it's a stupid way to do it as a negative offer, but I do teach some secrets, and I'm getting a lot of subscribers to those secrets. And those are people that want to know these secrets. They get the secrets. They get them in a video form, so they get to know me, and then some of them join the business. So what do you think, Marion? What kind of things have you done as far as attraction marketing?
Okay, Patrick, actually, if I can just recap on something you said, it actually sort of triggered a good thing with me in being more specific to be relevant, right? Now, you talked about Lucy. Okay, we've always had German Shepherds, and they've always been the most obedient, amazing dogs ever. But then, after we lost our last German Shepherd, she was so special that we couldn't bring ourselves to get another one. So we actually went off and got ourselves a Scottie, right, a little Scottish Terrier. Now, people warned us about Scotties. It said they do not listen, they're disobedient, they challenge your authority. And we, having trained German Shepherds, were like, come on, what are you talking about? Scotties are that small, or maybe that small kind of thing. How can something that small have a will that is greater than a German Shepherd? Because we found to our, thing that they are the most challenging dogs ever. Simply because they're so intelligent and so cute, you actually can't discipline them, right? But here's the thing. Now, if I was to look online for, say, how to potty train a dog, right, and I came across a whole list of things, what would I go for more? Would it be just a case of how to potty train a dog, or would I be more attracted if I saw an ebook or a video or whatever that talked about how to potty train a Scottish Terrier?
Perfect.
Exactly. And that's the thing of narrowing down into your main, narrowing down to the place where you put your finger right on the pain point, right? Like we were talking earlier, Patrick, I just market to mature professionals. All my videos say that, why? Because I know the challenges that us mature professionals face. To begin with, till I started doing all of this, I never needed to send an email or do anything. I had a PA who did all of that. So time management skills and all of that was not something I needed. Technical skills, I didn't need them. I just asked my PA to do it for me, Exactly. And now I talk about those exact same things and say, obviously for you coming online, it's going to be a struggle for you because you've obviously had your secretary or your PA do things for you. Whereas here, we understand that, so we have systems and processes in place to help you achieve your goals. So you see, it specifically addresses that person's concern and gives them the thing, okay, fine, this person's talking to me. And then they come along and chat with me. And the other thing I learned this weekend, we talk about attraction marketing, etc. But the thing is, we say it so glibly these days that we don't actually think about what attraction marketing means, right? And it very, very, very much is, you attract what you are. It's as simple as that. Now, if you're really, really good at it, you can actually attract you should be attracting exactly, you have to think about who do you want to work with? What kind of person specifically do you want to work with? And then all your marketing material, your videos, your blogs, etc., are all geared up towards that person. Right. And we have a really funny thing in our team, Patrick, in that now I don't swear, right, at all. I just don't. It's not something I do. We have people that will join our team, and on day one, they will be swearing, and everything else. We don't have to say anything. By the end of the week, they're going, oh, bless. It's just the way it is, really. And that's the whole thing of having a strong identity, if you like, so that you're able to project that and others can also look at it and follow, So very important that that happens. But make a specific model, if you like, of who you want to work with and then market to those people.
Right, absolutely. Yeah? And what we're talking about, you and I know this, what we talk about is figure out an avatar. Yeah. And that's what the marketing term is for this kind of thing. And it's the model of the person or market that you're looking to attract, right? And what does that particular avatar do? It could be, again, many people on here would be boomers, but it could be a stay-at-home mom who has 2 or 3 kids that honestly you just has up to here working with, dealing with maybe 3 or 4 kids under 7 years old or something like that, and yet her husband's working a lot. She wants to contribute economically to the household beyond taking care of the kids. As much as that's contributing in a big way, many still are looking to be able to bring in some dollars in a way that they can. So their avatar would be something like that. I want to attract other stay-at-home moms. What are the benefits of doing what we do for stay-at-home moms? What do I know about it? If I'm one of those, what do I know about it? What do I get by doing what I do? What do they get by coming and learning from me or joining with me? And what does our business do for them, and so forth, right? So the avatar can be anything. We know in our business, in the business that we're talking about, that we'll talk about later on today, we have everybody under the sun. I mean, it can be, as stay-at-home moms is a very big market because it's such a nice way for them if they can spare an hour or 2 a day to do something like this, to do it, they can earn a good income. It could be college students that don't want a part-time job, but because they're too busy, but they do have some computer savvy and things along that line. It could be guys like me, 57 years old. I had it. I worked as a professional all my life, and did things the right way. But I suffered through stock market corrections and housing corrections and all that kind of stuff myself. And I felt at age 57 I couldn't do the corporate job anymore. I didn't want to do the corporate job anymore. Frankly, I wasn't even good at it anymore. And I just didn't want that lifestyle. So I turned to the internet thinking it would be great, right? And again, 6 months later, I realized, wow, that's not good. I better do something else. Now, I still did it on the internet, but I basically forged through with the path we're doing now. And that has just taken off like crazy based on focusing, even though not necessarily on a demographic, but focusing on only one opportunity and one business and ignoring every other distraction as much as possible that comes along the way. That's a recipe for disaster and a recipe to make virtually no progress in any business to start trying to do 3 or 4, right? So even though that's not the main part of the topic, the main part of the topic was, focus on who that target market is for you. What can you offer to help that target market? What can you give them? Because they'll opt into your list, follow with your emails, understand, especially will be excited when you start having success and start sharing it because they'll see the vision that you see then as well, and that type of thing as well. Any other points to add on that, Mary? Oh, you're muted still, or muted again.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I keep muting myself out because I keep coughing, so I don't want to kind of disturb you. But yes, what I was going to say along the lines of what you were saying earlier, again, you're talking about young mums, you know? Now, you don't have to be a young mum to relate to a young mum. You know, I was listening to a young mum, very, very successful, and she says basically the pain of having to leave her little ones at home was so bad that that was her motivation to actually do this, you know, learn a new trade. Because let's face it, Patrick, we're all driven by pain till we start being pulled by our vision, you know? And that's the whole thing here, that pain is what drove me onto the internet, you know? And it's not as though that pain goes away. Because when some days, I'm sure, I mean, Patrick, you know what happened with me, right? I landed up in hospital. My laptop died in the same week. Yeah. All of that, right? So I come back out of hospital, and not only am I focusing on getting better, but I'm also focusing on catching up with all the work I've missed and trying to fix a computer that was, you know, kaput, and swapping everything over to a new computer and all of that. Now, that is painful. You know, there were many times I could have picked everything up and chucked it all out the window kind of thing. But the pain of this, because I remember actually coming out of hospital, waking up one morning, lying there in bed in an absolute sense of dread, thinking, I cannot believe I feel like this and I've got to go into work. You know, yeah. And then as I woke up properly, the realization came, no, Marion, you don't need to go into work. It was like, oh, thank you, thank you. So it's that, this is the thing. It's if you tap into somebody's pain, there are people out there who need this so urgently kind of thing. And you don't have to be, like, you know, I was saying to Patrick earlier, I have this 2 youngsters in my team. One is 21, one is 23. And the last one who joined, I was talking with him, and I said, you know, I market specifically to mature professionals. Why did you join me? And he said, well, I want to be a mature professional, don't I? You know, I hadn't even thought, exactly, bless him, he's lovely, but I hadn't even thought of that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't have thought of that neither, right?
Exactly. So just be yourself. Put out your, you know, your intention of who you want to work with. And this youngster, okay, you know, he's not a mature professional as yet, but I will tell you he is very professional and he's very mature in his presentations, etc. So, you know, that appeals to him as well. Exactly.
You know, but the last 4 or 5 people that have joined my business through me have been much younger than me as well. And in some respects, I mean, I joke about it. I said, so you basically figured if a 60-year-old guy can do this, well, then anybody can do it, and that's what attracted me. And they laughed, and they said, no, you know what? I just like the way you presented your stuff. You weren't full of, you know, hype and over the top. You're very, you know, reasonable in how you present the things, as opposed to being crazy. You weren't flaunting, you know, $1 million, you know, checks and crazy things like that. You were just talking to me about how to do things. You know, so a lot of my videos, by the way, are how to do things, and you know, these are things I know, but they weren't things I knew you know, a couple of years ago. In some cases, they aren't things I knew a month ago. I mean, you don't have to be a 3-year expert, a 2-year expert, a 1-year expert to be an expert. All you have to do is know more about it than somebody else.
One step ahead.
Yeah, you have to be one step ahead.
Just one step ahead.
I watched some training about a week ago, and the very first thing I did after watching that training was I recorded a video about what I learned.
Yeah.
Right? And I didn't know that stuff before that training. It was new to me. And I thought it was pretty good. First, actually, it wasn't the first thing I did to record it. The first thing I did was I actually did what they said in the training. And then, so basically I learned it, I then applied it, and then I taught it. Okay? And so then, you know, nobody knew if it was something I learned yesterday or something I learned a year ago, but I was an expert to some people. I've seen it, the video on YouTube, it's had a lot of views. And so you don't have to, I don't want people to ever feel like they can't do that stuff, because we're all going to learn things every day, even if it's just a small little thing, even if it's something inconsequential. I'll give you another example. About a year ago, excuse me one second. About a year ago, I ended up with virus on, not on my computer, but on my websites. And I found out, a little free tool that would take them off, and it worked like a charm. And I had a bunch of websites, and as soon as it got into one, because it's all in one hosting account, it went all through all of them. You know, once if they get in a hosting account, boy, they do crazy things. Anyway, the end result is I got everything taken care of. It took me about a day. But then I did a video about, you know, how to remove viruses from your website. You wouldn't believe the thousands of views that gets. And I have a link, though, that takes it to an opt-in page to find out more information about internet marketing. And I'll get opt-ins from that. It would probably be better if I had a link to find out more about, you know, how to, you know, take viruses off your website and had a product on it. But I didn't, and I don't have a product that I sell on it. But it was still, all I was looking at is somebody's going to see the video, see that I gave a reasonable video, and hopefully they liked it enough to opt in to my opt-in page. So simple as that. Now there, my market was people that already had that virus, because they're not going to be searching how to remove it unless they had it. Okay, so I was looking more for people that wanted some technical guidance, and again, that's a little bit of my background, right? So let's talk a little bit about how to market then to your avatar. You know, so you figured out who it is. We'll just get into this for about 10 or 15 minutes. You figured out who it is. What's a way that you can market, especially if you're doing paid? Well, first of all, let's talk about free marketing first, and then we'll talk about paid. Okay, so if it's free marketing, well, we've got all kinds of things. You've got if you have a blog, you can write blog posts specifically about that avatar, that type of person that will be attracted to it, something that they would search for, something that they would be looking for, and something where you're going to help them. Okay, it could be the same kind of thing in a Facebook post. You know, something that is, like in Marion's case, something that is of interest to mature professionals. And it could be just check out my business about, you know, that a lot of mature professionals have joined. But even better than that, here's my article, or here's a link to my article where I talk about how this has worked for me, and maybe how it could work for you, or maybe it's something you're going to give away to those people as an opt-in, right? There's an example. Paid marketing is a little trickier. Paid marketing, most of my paid marketing has been done through what's called solo ads. Now, I don't know if you've done a lot of solo ads, Marion? Yeah. So solo ads, you generally can't tune the demographic as closely as you can in some other things. Solo ads, in most cases, it's going to be the solo ad. First of all, what's a solo ad? A solo ad is somebody's established a big email list, and they're going to send out an email on your behalf to click to a link that you give them, and you're going to pay them to run that ad. Okay? So the solo ad provider will send out the email. Now, a solo ad provider does have some demographics, but they don't have a lot. They will have the country that the people that are on their list in, they may have segmented their list by country, but they won't have their age. They won't have their sex, unless there was an opt-in about that, but generally there isn't. So they'll have their name, their email address, and then the country is picked up by the IP address and that. So you can't really tune solo ads that closely unless the solo ad provider has built a list that's specific to your demographic. So I'll just pick an example. If you only wanted to send out to baby boomers, somebody built a list that was only baby boomers, well, I could get a solo ad then from them. But I haven't found that many specifics with solo ads. So for me, when I do solo ads, they're not as oriented to my particular demographic, but they are oriented towards the demographic of the typical person that's on a solo ad, and that's usually somebody who's into internet marketing or network marketing and or making money from home. Okay, most solo ad lists, that's about what they're oriented to. That's in general. There's thousands of providers. So if I know I'm going to go buy a solo ad, I want to do something that's of interest to at least one of those three demographics. Okay, it may not be age, but it may be, it will be, one of those three demographics. And then generally I'll ask the solo ad provider what countries they list, and generally they will guarantee a certain number of opt-ins from what they call, and don't take it personally if you're not in one of these countries, but they typically call these tier 1 countries, those being English-speaking countries, US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. Typically, that's what they're calling tier 1. I don't know how they've decided that and why they've decided that, but look, I speak English, I don't speak Spanish, I don't speak French, I don't speak Russian, I don't speak German, so there's no sense me sending out a list to, emails, predominantly to Germany, right? So I'm going to be interested in people that can, first of all, read my email, second, understand my videos, so I want them in English-speaking countries. And I guess the tier 1 may be a little oriented to economics as well, countries where people typically have credit cards and so forth. Okay, so that's it. Now there is another spot where you can get a lot more specific about demographics. Now I'll admit that I am not an expert on this particular spot. I do stuff on it, but my advertising so far has not done wonders, although I am absolutely a student about it. And what that is Facebook. And why Facebook is a really wonderful place to find your particular avatar is if you advertise, well, first of all, you can post, and you can post into groups, or you can post on your Facebook timeline, and then your friends see it. But more so, I'm talking about advertising. Well, Facebook knows just about everything about everybody that's on it. They know where they live. They know their age. They know their sex. They know the magazines they like. They know the music they like. They know the people they follow. They know the gurus of any kind of industry that they kind of like or follow their page. So you can really figure it out when you're running Facebook ads that narrow it down to, first of all, you want it to be a big enough group of people that it's worth doing it to, but it could be people in a particular age range in a particular country that like this person and this person and this person, say if those are relevant people to the market that you're trying to go after. And so Facebook gives you the absolute ultimate in kind of customization or tuning to get to your specific demographic. Now, I'll be honest, as I said, I am not a guru on Facebook advertising. I find it a little bit complicated. I've run ads. I haven't had the best success, but I do know people that are just doing it and doing it very, very, very well. So I'm making it my business now to understand it much, much better. So if you're listening and you want to use Facebook, just do yourself a favor, go out there and find some Facebook advertising training and go through it just the same way I am, okay? And you know what? In a couple weeks, I'll probably come back and tell you a little bit more about it. I won't claim to be an expert, but I'll claim to be better at it than I am today. What do you think about the idea of Facebook for marketing?
Yeah, Patrick, I absolutely love it. You know, in our team, we've been through a little process of focusing in on Facebook. And that's the other thing I love about, you know, the place that we're in and where we're wrapped around kind of thing. Because we get so much specific, targeted training. So that, you know, the likes of you and me, you have to be a student all your life if you want to progress, you know, otherwise you just stay stuck wherever you are, isn't it?
Yeah.
And at the moment, we have got a particular person who is training on video making and Facebook marketing with videos, which I'm absolutely loving. I'm not getting time to keep up with everything, but it's there so that I can do it at my own pace. And I know it will benefit me. And you were talking, you know, what you're talking about really is the thing that we kind of emphasize here, which is the learn, do, teach principle, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'll be doing with the team. Like you're saying, you know, learning how to do it first, implement it, make sure it's working. I have already done Facebook marketing and pay-per-click on Facebook, and it has been productive for me. But Facebook changes almost on a daily basis. So you've got to kind of keep up to date with that, which is why I'm doing this training.
Yeah.
And then I will teach the team. And talking about teaching the team, I have one lady here. She's actually on the call, Sonia Harris. Right. Now, Sonia, you know, she's one of these people who will just go off, learn her own stuff, come back in, etc. Sonia is an author. She writes books and that kind of thing. And she picks her audience of who she's going to market her books to through the Facebook method. Because it's so easy to tweak your demographics on Facebook. And once you get the hang of that, it's so inexpensive and productive, you know? Right. So really, really well worth doing that. I love it. I must say I love it. My favorite method is YouTube marketing, video marketing. Simply because people get to know you and, you know, look at me, you know? If I don't say mature, what else do I say, you know? So people look at me and they know that I'm talking the truth when I say, okay, I'm a mature professional. And then when they hear the things I say and they relate to it, then it's, okay, yeah, let's go talk to this lady, you know? So that's why it's so important to know exactly what you are trying to portray and what you're doing. But yeah, I love Facebook marketing.
Yeah, well, and I must admit, I love YouTube or just video marketing in general. Frankly, is my first love. Not because I love being on camera, to be honest. I don't mind it. I'm not scared about it anymore. But why I like it so much is just about everybody that has joined in my business over the last few years. When I asked them why they joined, they said, "Oh, I saw one of your videos." Well, then I love it. You know, when I know that it works that well, that they saw one of my videos. Now, I don't have thousands of videos out there. You know, I have maybe 100, and you know, some of them are 2 minutes long, and some of them are 15 minutes long. I used to do longer ones. I now learned that it's not worthwhile. It's better to have a few small ones than one long one. But video really works because. And I'm more effective at it than I am at blogging, for instance. Now, I do write blog posts, but I feel like my feelings come across more in a video than I can write. If I was a better writer, maybe, you know, then I could impart a lot more feeling. But I'm not a great writer. I write, and I usually take a half an hour to write a blog post and all that. And you know, some of them are seen and some of them aren't seen. But video means that people have gotten to hear you, they've gotten to see you, you know, hopefully they understand that you're a straight shooter, that you're just doing some things that are helping yourself but will also help them, and things like that. And that's why I find video, to me, is more effective. Now, I think you're onto something there video marketing combined with Facebook promotions is absolutely killer.
It's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely, because then you got the value and the power of your face and your voice being heard and seen, but tuned to a specific demographic with a message that is meaningful to those people. I think it's a wonderful combination, and it's really why I'm with you. That's exactly where I'm going by trying to learn more about the Facebook advertising, because I want to get the videos out there, in a wider distribution to the demographic. So do learn, or learn, do, teach is the way to go, and I think we both agree. Doing it to a specific demographic instead of trying to be everything to everybody is a much more effective approach. Well, why don't we talk a little bit about our actual business, Marion, in case there's anybody live tonight that hasn't joined us or has become part of it, and we'll explain it a bit. Do you want to kick it off, or would you like me to?
Patrick, I'm happy to go. And then you can fill in any blanks that I've left out, kind of thing.
Okay.
Now, basically, we are with a company called, Patrick and myself, both, we're certified coaches for, and we are, the main system we use is a system called IPAS, which is Internet Prospect Acceleration System. And that is basically what it does. It accelerates the whole process of finding prospects, etc. And I always like to say, people talk about wanting to make money online, but very often they don't kind of grasp this whole idea, because some marketers market so incorrectly. They'll say things like, join here and you make $500 by the end of this week, etc. And yes, it's very possible. I've seen people make a lot more than that. However, how are you supposed to make that? And let me just explain, in order to make money of any form, anywhere, you've got to provide something of value in exchange, right? So Patrick and myself actually belong to what we call affiliate marketing, right? We're affiliate marketers. We have found extremely good quality products that we can sell that are really, really valuable. But you know what the brilliant thing here is, that the commissions you get on these are 70% plus, right? Most products that you sell, you get the juices. I like to call them the lotions and potions section of the affiliate marketing community. You sell vitamins or juices and all that kind of thing. But the commissions are so tiny that you've got to sell masses in order to make any decent money at all. With the kind of products we sell, and because the commissions are so high, you earn anything from $100 to $3,000 worth of commission on the sale of your items. So, it is absolutely amazing. I mentioned to you all that, I've had a couple of health scares recently. Well, the one thing I haven't had to worry about are the finances, because the way it's all set up with one company that does all these wonderful products, etc., and IPAS being the marketing machine which actually promotes all of this, that's kept boiling in the background even while I was away for a week, and that's the beauty of having something that will continue working even when you're not there. Otherwise, basically what you've tied yourself into is another job, okay, which you're working probably even harder at. And this is very much a it's an amazing thing. It's set up in a franchise model, so you get everything and the instructions of how to work it, and then you use the information and the training, etc., to just grow and learn and progress and completely change your outlook, if you like. I mean, if I think of myself about 2 or 3 years ago, I can quite cringe at how much I didn't know at that stage. But now I'm literally growing by the week, and it's wonderful. So that's the kind of thing. But I'll hand over to Patrick. I'm sure he's wanting to say something as well.
No,
He's sitting
I
there
can listen
nodding
well.
away.
Well, I
Go
will
ahead,
mention one thing. I want to do the legalities of this income disclosure. Both Marion and I are in the top 200 in our primary business, and our earnings are typical. There's lots and lots of people in there. All we can say to you is we do extraordinarily well because we do extraordinary activity. Okay, and there'll be a link to an income disclosure document or disclaimer document down below somewhere on the page. But it's up to you what you do. It's not a matter of you just join something and money rolls in. We do not market that way. We do not talk that way, and it's not true. And if anybody ever tells you you join something like that, just run. That is not the case. What you do here is you're going to learn what to do. If you do it, there's a really good chance you will make money. If you don't do it, there's a really good chance you won't make a dime. So we don't want to portray this as some kind of get-rich-quick scheme that you press a button, buy something, and money rolls in. What we want to do is tell you it's not a scheme, it's a plan, it's activities, it's commitment, it's encouragement. It's a team where we encourage each other, okay? In a group where we encourage each other and we applaud your success, right? And that's the way we function. Marion's team, my team as well, we function that way. But we want you to understand, if you're going to take on a business, if you're going to build a business, it's a business, and it's your business. And what you get out of your business is a direct reflection of what you put into your business. Okay, there's products to get so you understand them. There's training to get so you understand what to do, and then there's the actual doing. Just like we were talking about learning, doing, teaching. Well, first step is learning. Next step is doing. Now we don't want to make it sound too hard because it doesn't have to be too hard. That's why we have step-by-step training. The key thing is you get in the system. There's a little button right down below here, green button. Click on that to get a trial. It costs $7. You're going to have a week to go through some training in the system. You'll even be able to start promoting the system even in that week. And if people join you, you'll make commission. Okay? So you'll be able to learn what to do right away. You'll be able to start promoting the business yourself right away. You'll be able to get the products and understand it. But what you get out of this is absolutely a direct reflection of the commitment and the level of activity you put in to the system. There's one guy we know in the business who keeps on talking about take massive action. I love it. I love it. We're not doing this. Nobody comes into the business saying, I want to make $10 next year or $38 in 6 months. Everybody comes in wanting to make some big income. The key is who's going to put the effort in to get it. Okay. The neat thing is we've got, I like to call it almost like a foundation or a framework. We've got a framework that pays commission. We've got training that teaches what to do. In fact, just yesterday we launched a 21-day, or I guess it's all of December, daily activity plan. It's so cool that you get in. You're going to get a daily activity plan. It may take you an hour or so a day to do the activity. But not only you get all the training that's in the system, you're going to get a daily plan, especially for people that are brand new. Do this, do this, do this. That's all you have to do is follow the steps. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. But don't undercut your dream. Don't undercut your vision by just assuming you just get in and it all happens. It doesn't. You just have to take the steps. Now we take a step like this. But frankly, if you join us, you'll be able to send people to this hangout, and if they join the business, you're going to be the person that gets the commission, not us. And we've got that done with some special coding that we give you. So the key thing is, this is not hard. frankly, I look at it so much easier than my old corporate job, so much more fun than my old corporate job. I wish I would have done it I'd say about 15 years earlier, but it didn't exist. It didn't exist. iPass 2 came out 3 months ago. It's just made a massive difference in both our lives and our incomes, right, Marion?
Absolutely, absolutely. Patrick, can I just qualify something you said here? You know, both of us have been talking about our teams, etc. Can we just emphasize that this, you know, if you click that green button down there, you won't necessarily be joining either Patrick or myself. This is a company-wide call, and we have the pleasure of being able to serve all the other people in our community by putting these calls on for them. So when you click on that button to join, you'll actually be joining the person who sent you the link and said, you know, go watch Boomer High.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, I forgot to mention it. It's very important.
No, that's perfectly all right.
Yeah.
You remember the income disclosure, and I didn't. So
yeah, it's a lot to remember in these. But it's the cool thing is you'll be connected with somebody else.
Exactly.
And they'll bring you, you know, into the you automatically get access to the training. Okay.
Absolutely.
And you automatically, regardless of who you join with, get access to the December day-by-day business activities, for the step-by-step activities, and you'll get access to a sponsor or coach in the system that will get you, kind of, first of all, get you started, get you positioned so you can make, you know, a good income with it, get you pointed in the right direction especially, and then the rest is going to be just up to you, what you do. Now, again, you may choose different ways to market. You know, we talked about a few tonight: video, Facebook, solo ads.
Blogs.
I've had some really good result recently with solo ads, and you're going to learn some techniques. Okay, but the key thing is, first of all, get started. Second, start learning. Third, apply that learning. Doesn't have to be a massive amount of time, but if you've got a massive amount of time, well, then use it wisely. Use it wisely to build your future, to secure your future. So with that, I think we're about done here tonight. Marion, do you have anything you'd like to end on?
Yes, Patrick. You know, listening to you has got me all fired up, kind of thing. And I'm thinking of me when I first looked at all of this. You know, I was so excited. Because I had this gut feeling that this is the way I needed to go. I was so tired and in so much pain from my regular day-to-day activities, kind of thing, you know, the going to work, the waking up at the crack of dawn, commuting into work, sitting in traffic, then going into work where everybody was depressed. Have you noticed that? I'd arrive at work in a really, really good mood, but when I got there, they were all depressed and they were all kind of having a go at each other, you know? And I just hated the atmosphere, but I loved the job, though, and, you know, obviously I did the best I could. But I knew there had to be another way. I knew something was out there. And when I saw that first thing, I was so keen to get started, but I also had all these fears. What if I'm overwhelmed? Where am I going to find the time? Etc., etc. You know, I remember that I actually made a specific commitment to start working in the US. In other words, all my marketing, etc., was done in the US, simply because that like gave me another additional 5 hours to my day. Right, because of course I'm here in the UK, so you know, after my family had gone to bed and everything else, I would then get down to work and be able to hop onto all the live webinars and everything else in the US, which is why I'm still on here at this crazy time, you know, and this is early actually. So there's all of that, and what I want to say to you is something that Tony Robbins once said, and basically he said, an entrepreneur will do today what others won't do so that he can live tomorrow like others can't live. You know, and and that made a massive impact on me. And I'm so glad I started when I started. Yes, there was overwhelm. Yes, there was exceptional tiredness. Yes, there was all of that. But you know, when I saw that first sale happening, it all just disappeared. And once that first sale happened, it was like, right, okay, so if it can happen once, it can happen repeatedly. And the community we work in is, like you said, you know, so supportive. And you see success stories happening all the time. And to me, if somebody else can do it, I can do it too. And I'll tell you what, Patrick, I could actually do a lot better and a lot more than I'm currently doing. So don't for one instant imagine that I'm trying to say, you know, do it like me. I tell my team, guys, listen, do your blogs, but then, you know, don't be like me and do nothing about it. Implement it, you know, do certain things that you have to do, etc. And if I just did that, I know I would be that much further along the road, really. And that's what my focus is on now, you know. And I've started something where I'm accountable. That's the other beauty. We have these daily tasks that you can say, okay, I want to be held accountable, please. And it's wonderful to work in that atmosphere where you are making sure that you are doing the best that you can, not to line somebody else's dream or pocket or whatever, but to create your own future. To me, that is worth working hard for. You know, if I worked hard to develop a company's profits, you know, working for my own future is, so what if I'm tired, you know? So I just want to leave you with that thought, really.
Well, that's a really good point. When you think about it, people are funny this way. When they have a job, they do a level of effort. You know, maybe extraordinary effort it may not be, who knows, but they're trying to keep the boss happy. And they're trying to keep the boss, you know, off their back a little bit, make the boss money a little bit. Sometimes when they go out on their own, they kind of slack off. And, you know, it's like, my time is my own. I don't have any accountability. I don't have a boss. It's my own. Well, that's the last time that's the last time you want to put in minimal effort. That's the time you want to put the most effort in ever. Because just like you said, massive action to get your business going now will be paying off for you, you know, hopefully for years. It's the foundation of something very, very, very big. So I just want to encourage people. There's a little trial button down below. Hit that. The list building guide is down below too if you want that. It's like $8 or $10. But the key thing we want you to do is, you have a vision, you have a dream, you have something is driving you, something even drove you to come and watch this tonight. And if this resonates with you and you want to get started in a business, we just feel like we have such a perfect one here, because it not only is a business that has this foundation where you can make commission, it has the training on how you can do it, and it has the benefit of coaches and mentors like Marion and I, or your sponsor, to not only to get you going, but to keep you going as well. But again, it is up to you. So the very first thing you got to do is hit that button. And with that, I think we'll end it. I'm going to put a little tune on just to end it. 1 second. This will be a surprise. I have no idea what this is.
Okay.
And I'm going to turn up the volume. No, I don't like that. Skip that. 1 second. Let's try something else. Oh, that's better. I think I like what we had earlier.
Yes. Rocking it out.
But anyway, look at guys, thanks for joining us this week. We'll see you next week. Marion, thank you very much. You were wonderful.
Thank you, Patrick.
As always, it's such one of the wisest, you're maybe the second wisest decision I've ever made in my life. The first one was in the other room, who just got home. Anyway, guys, those of you who joined us this week, thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week. Anybody who sees the replay throughout the week, great. Have a good week. Hit the button below. We'll see you all later on. All the best. Pat Batty.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.